friends, I'm Rachel, a second generation homeschool mama to 5 kids aged 7 and under, and on my channel here I share encouragement, recommendations, and resources to other homeschool mamas that have been given this incredible task to teach our children diligently, to instill in them a love of learning, and to reclaim the wonder in this amazing world that God has created. If that's the kind of stuff that you're interested in, then please hit that like and subscribe button, stick around, and tell me a little bit about yourself in the comments. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing everything I'll be using for my preschoolers school year. My preschooler is going to be 4 in August, and we've basically done nothing up to this point. I am not one to do a lot of anything school-wise in the early years. So no, he does not know any of his letters mostly. He knows R for Ruben. I think he knows maybe 2 or 3 letters. I think he can count to 5, and he's good at his colors. But other than that, this is pretty much going to be his first, just the first anything in terms of school. So first off, for his actual school book, I have from The Good and the Beautiful, the preschool course book. I'm so excited. I love The Good and the Beautiful's preschool curriculum. It is so fun. It's so gentle. Basically, it's focusing on mastering the letters and the sounds. It even has things like cutting practice. I love how it's got pencil grip exercises, which is good because my almost 4-year-old does not know how to hold a pencil, so I think that'll be something that we'll have to work on more than I did with my other 2. It's just got a lot of fun little illustrations. I like that there's very little, if any, actual handwriting in it. I like that because they're so young, their hands are so little, they don't need to be practicing printing letters yet, at least not very much. And so it's got things where you match the picture to the letter, again, draw a line, picture to the letter, counting, stuff where you cut and paste. It's got, I think it has a bit of coin practice, which I really like. If I can find it towards the back, I think it starts to introduce just a simple introduction to pennies, nickels, and dimes, like that kind of stuff. So really excited for this. I love their preschool course, and with it, it's really cool, is it comes with some practice sheets. And so the first, well, I guess 26 pages of the book are pages for each letter, and you can paint it, dot marker, you could color it, glue on whatever it is you want, put stickers or whatever. And so these are a really fun little activity. We've actually done the first, gotten to H. So we've been doing just that the last few weeks with the dot markers mostly. He really loves that. And the rest of the book is just some different extra practice sheets, which I really like. These are just, again, just really beautiful illustrations, simple, easy, some more cutting and pasting, which is always big winners for my kids. They love that. So it's got these practice sheets, and these are not incorporated into the lessons, I don't think, if I remember correctly, but they're just extra practice, so really cool to have. The other part, sorry about that, my kids needed a little intervention. Anyways, the last component of the preschool course is these folder activities. These are also really fun. In the little folder, and these are this set here I used for my upcoming first grader 2 years ago. Yes, 2 years ago. And so I love the things that you can buy them for one kid and then use them again, save them, and all that. But there's just some different little activities where you pull out the folder. Here's a fun one. It's a feed the elephant activity, and you have the different letters. I think these ones are just M-N-O-P, and have some different ways you could do it, where you could ask them to feed the elephant a pea and they have to find a pea, or you could have them just choose one of the peanuts and tell you the letter and the sound, and then put it through the little hole that you make here on the elephant. So that's one. Let me show you one more just to give you an idea. It's really fun. All my kids love these. And last time we used these, when my almost 6-year-old was going through them, his older brother, who at the time was in 1st grade, even wanted to do them with us, and my upcoming preschooler, who at the time was like 2, also enjoyed doing it with us. And they're very simple. But here's a fun one. It's a little moon match, and you just, super simple, you just line up the uppercase to the lowercase in the picture that matches. And so there's a little bit of putting stuff together, like I had to, have one of these, what's it called, little brads, pop out the pieces and that kind of stuff, but very, very simple, and how you need to put them together once you have them. So that is the preschool course from The Good and the Beautiful. And then also from The Good and the Beautiful, we have their doodle books. Now this is part 2 because he did the part 1 over the last year. These are these doodle books I like to get my kids when they're like around 3 or so, and they're at that point where, where's my school book? They see their big siblings doing school, and where's mine? And so it's just got some fun things to trace. It's got the letters in this and color. I think it also has some fun like mazes and activities like that, dot to dot. Maybe this one doesn't. I know the older ones have a lot of that kind of stuff, but this is fun at the back. It's got some, you find the image, and so you find it and color it. So here's this doodle book. And then the next thing I have is something that I really just got because I have a similar thing for my older 2, and I knew he'd want one too, but it's my first draw and write journal. And so honestly, I'm probably not going to do too much specific with this. It'll kind of be something that he can color in and draw in and practice writing in when he wants to. I might write his name and have him trace it or that kind of thing, but that's just a little something extra for him. I got that one from Lakeshore Learning. The next thing I have is one of the ABC See Here Do books. It's level 1. I don't know if that means it's the first book in the series or one of the first ones, but it's the uppercase letters, and these are so cool. They're so fun. Basically, you have the letter you learn, and then you have some kind of, so for C, you curl your hands like claws, and you scratch, and you and then that C is for cat, like scratching like a cat. And then I remember my kids loved the A. The A is for ant. Throw your hands in the air like you're scared. Ah! They love that one. And then after you learn a few letters, you have a couple words. And so then you put the sounds together and read a few words. And then you have a few more. And then you have more words. And then at the end of it, you have more and more words until at the back, I think, then it has some extra challenge words at the back without the extras. But at the end it says, congratulations, you just read 55 words. So that'll be really fun to work through. Then next up, I have some books that I've specifically set aside and bought for the preschool year. The first one is a new one to us. It's Alpha Block. Yeah, Alpha Block. We have one of the other ones in the series. I think it is, I want to say Farm Block. It's so fun. My kids love it. And so just an extra fun little letter book that has fun pictures. And this one's not as fun as the other one that we have in the series because the other one has really cool lift the flaps and like some go up, some go down, that kind of stuff. This one's a little more basic, but still fun how it has how the page is shaped like a letter. So that'll be a fun one. Next is something that I had actually seen others on YouTube share a while ago. Number Stories was called, a really old one, obviously. And I think when I had seen someone share, I had looked it up and it was, I don't know if it was out of print or it was just really expensive to find used. And so I kind of forgot about it, and then I found it at the thrift store not too long ago. So such a score, but really fun. It's actually, book 2 in the series. So if I find the other one, I'll definitely buy it. But it's just got some simple little stories, the old-timey stuff. And then the end of the story, there's got, like here, this one at the end of the story, it says, tell me about the pictures, and it's asking you, is the lighthouse with 2 windows the tallest of the 3 lighthouses? And, which lighthouse is shorter? And so it's got some different questions to ask. And then, so it's like, not only is it kind of some beginner math stuff, but you're also working on reading comprehension, which is huge. so it's got things like large and small, long and short. This will be really perfect for where he's at right now for his age. And then towards the back, it ends up having some actual, now these are written in, but it looks like it's a pencil, so I could probably erase it. But it's actually got some simple additions, and I think it even has like some money stuff in here, teaching just the coins. But anyways, really sweet little book. It's got calendar and telling time, basic stuff, so that'll also be really fun to go through. Next book is also one I got at thrift stores. I'm not sure if you'd be able to find it easily, like a newer printing or on thrift books maybe, but it's Time for a Rhyme, and this one's really cool too. This one I also used with my upcoming first grader, and it's Time for a Rhyme by Ellie Wilkie, and it's a rhyming book where it says, do you know a word that rhymes with tree? Turn the page and you shall see. And then you see what rhymes with tree, and they have to think of it. And it says the first one is, it's me, 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 and then it has a few others. And then when I did it with my other son, we would think of other words we could that rhyme with that. So this is really good for that pre-reading skills, the rhyming, and also just really beautiful illustrations. Next I have 2 Usborne books. The first one is Lift the Flap First Math, and this one's falling apart. I've had it for a little while. And so I think I like it a lot. I'm gonna hobble through this one with my preschooler, but it might be one that I repurchase for my my next 2 children. But it's got, embarrassing to show, half the flaps missing. But it still has some stuff where they're not missing, and we can still do some of these things even when the flaps are gone. But this is one that is a little more adding than simply counting. And even a little bit subtractions. This will be one that I'll probably go through after we finish, after we read through number stories, or maybe when we're halfway through or something. But this one's definitely a little more beginner, where he's at now, than this. And the last book I have is another Usborne, and it's Lift the Flap ABC. I love the Usborne Lift the Flap books. They're so good. And I like that there's a lot for all levels. I mean, there's even ones, multiplying, dividing Lift the Flap, and periodic table Lift the Flap, where it's not just for little ones. And I mean, even my oldest ones, they love Lift the Flap too. So I think people can sometimes think, oh, it's Lift the Flap. It's for like little kids, for toddlers, but not Usborne ones. They're good. But this one is in a lot better condition than the other. But it's just all the flaps to flip. We have to figure out what's the missing one, and just some really good repetitive ABC stuff. So that'll be a fun one to go through. Then last I have a few games and puzzle kind of things. First is some of the little peg puzzles from Melissa and Doug. I have fish colors, and this is actually one thing that he does know. I think he's pretty much 100% on all these colors, so probably won't specifically use this with him too much this year, but it's still a fun one. He still loves matching it and mix and matching and all that kind of stuff. But this one is the numbers one, and this will be good because I don't know that much about, I feel like I should know more of what he knows, but I'm just like, I don't know. Like I said, I think he can count to 5. I don't know how many of these numbers he could pick out. I think at least the first three he, I think, knows what they are. But anyways, this will be a good one. I like that the pegs have the actual piece to hold, because it makes it so much easier for little ones. It also helps with the fine motor skills. I also do have the ABC one, but couldn't find it. It's around somewhere, but we have that one as well. And then we've got this also Melissa and Doug alphabet train floor puzzle. And this is really cool because it's one of those long ones that's one piece by one piece, and it ends up being 10 feet long. So this is a fun one, and it's got I think all of them are animals, which is really fun. My kids love animals. What kid doesn't? And then I've got, lastly, 2 games. I've got both from Peaceable Kingdom, Alphabet Go Fish and Alphabet Bingo. And I love Peaceable Kingdom, also with just the cute little pictures and illustrations. And had this in a while, don't have the box anymore. That's all right. But I like that the pictures all have something for that letter. So when you're still learning, if you don't know, you can basically ask, do you have the caterpillar? Oh, no, correct. I'll C for caterpillar. I will say though, that's always a kind of a minor annoyance for me when games and books that are alphabet stuff, where it's clearly meant to be teaching someone their letters and their sounds, and they use the long vowel sound, or maybe they use like a giraffe for G, because it's like, they don't know that yet. All it's doing is confusing them. So that's a minor annoyance, not a big deal though. But yeah, so like, it's got all the little pictures. So there's this, and then the alphabet bingo is very similar, little pictures and stuff. But it's got got a little baggie where you keep the little tokens in. And also, nice thing about this one is that on one side it's got just the picture and the word nest, and the other side's got an N. And so you could kind of be able to do different levels, where beginning out, find the nest, and they have to look on their little mat here for nest, and then later on when they know more, simply ask for N, and they have to actually find the letter. So this one is a fun one. We've had that for a while, played it many times, but definitely use that for my preschooler's year to help him with his letter sounds. So I think that is everything I have. Not everything I have. I also do have just other picture books and board books for letters and numbers, but these are the main things that I'm kind of just using for his preschool year. And my main goal for all mine when they're in their preschool year, which yes, typically right around 4, is just to get those letters and letter sounds down, numbers to up to 10, and they're really gentle. I try not to, I don't force anything at this age. If a 4-year-old does not want to sit and do a fun little worksheet, I'm not going to make him, because that's just, they're very little. If he wants to play, he's going to play. But so far, all of my kids have loved anytime I have something for them. My preschooler, even the last year, as he's been 3, has, like I said, he has the part 1 of the doodle book from Good and the Beautiful. He does that. And then he also has just a very simple preschool workbook that I kind of got it thinking I would start telling him, oh, like A and A says A, not to necessarily expect him to be getting it down, but just to be introducing to him. But honestly, he just likes to do it on his own, my school book, and really cute about it. But anyway, so I have these things at our disposal, and we will use them basically as much as he wants to. Well, let me wrap up my video, as my children are clearly having a day where they need me a little more than usual. But that about wrapped it up anyways. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything I'll be using for my preschoolers upcoming year. And, just an encouragement to anyone that is thinking about homeschooling their little one, is hesitant, is unsure. You don't have to be stressed about these little years. You're not going to mess them up. You're not going to have them behind in a way that's a problem in these early years. Honestly, what's important in these early years isn't that they master their letters and their sounds and their numbers and their adding and counting. It's that they're playing, and that's that they're having time outside, books read to them, learning what's so much more important than schoolwork, how to be a little person, how to be kind and sharing and loving, knowing that, knowing who they are in Jesus, knowing that they're fearfully and wonderfully made. And all this stuff is great and it's exciting, and I know my little one's excited. I'm excited to teach him and to have this time with him, but just a reminder to you and a reminder to myself more so of this stuff is not what's most important in raising our children. So hope that's helpful. It's helpful for me to remind myself. And let me know if you have an upcoming preschooler, if you have any favorite games, puzzles, or books for the early years. I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you next time.